Happy Friday. Is everybody doing? Make sure that you lead with your heart because, with love, everything can be solved. If you want them to get things done, they definitely will get it done. That even if we close our eyes, we can still see your brightness. That is how amazing the VAs in our community is. My name is Phyllis. Welcome to the Every Friday live. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the show. My name is Phyllis. Welcome to Virtual Assistant Made Simple. We have dedicated to work with you every single week on some of the commonly asked questions on how to use and utilize virtual assistants so that you can create the ultimate freedom for yourself by leveraging them. And one thing that we love to talk about is, how can you do everything, right? How can you do it all without doing it all? And, today's topic is what can a virtual executive assistant do for a busy overachiever business owners? I promised one of my clients I'm going to do a video, and here I am doing a video. And I would like to introduce my co-host, Monic Tayak. So Monic, if you want to come in and say hi.
Yes, hi everyone. Happy Thursday. Yes, so my name is Monique. I've been working for Phyllis as an executive assistant, COO, and just everything. Okay. So yeah, I've been working for Phyllis for 10 years. And yes, we're here to talk about what can a virtual executive assistant do for you guys.
Yes. To be honest with you, I have been doing this for the past 12 years. I really do not think that I just assume that everybody kind of know, right? Because I'm in the business. So sometimes I realize that I really need to speak up on what I know so that everybody can learn from it. So what can a virtual executive assistant do for you? Pretty much everything. You're like, well, Phyllis, what is everything means? I meant literally almost everything. There's a couple of things that you cannot do, compared to a physical assistant, but you pretty much can do everything. You pretty much can get them to do everything, especially right now. The technology is so advanced. In United States, especially, I want to brought up that, we have Uber Eats, right? We have Instacart, right? We have Uber. You're like, well, what's the difference between Uber and Uber Eats? I know. I recently just learned that too. Obviously, for Uber Eats, right? The virtual assistant, can help you order food, order drinks, order anything that's healthy or not healthy for you, right? If you have a party, you can send it out to them. You can actually send birthday, lunch, dinner, or a birthday cake or birthday dessert or anniversary, whatever food that you're thinking about, you can actually get your assistant to send it through Uber Eats. If you want the same day within like the 5-10, I would say within an hour, right? Right now, we also notice that Uber have this new technology too, where they can help you to go to a place and pick up stuff. So, like let's say you print something on Staples. So you go to Staples online, put now your order, and then Uber can actually go pick it up and drop it off at your home. So you technically do not need a physical assistant sitting there waiting for you, right? And then for Instacart, I love Instacart nowadays because why? Because you can actually use that to pick up whatever food that you want. I know right now I'm kind of telling you all the extreme, and I'm going to pull it back to all the traditional thing that a virtual assistant can do for you. For Instacart, one thing that one of my client did is she said, "Hey, I just attended Tony Robbins Live Mastery. I want to be extremely healthy, and this is what the food that I wanted to eat." And so that what they do is they get the virtual assistant, right, the executive assistant, to find the recipe. After they approve the recipe, they order all the ingredients on Instacart, and then they went on another app to look for a personal chef, or they post an ad, whether you are using an app or just posting something on Facebook or something. So anyway, she found a chef, and then the chef came to the house, get all the food from the Instacart, cook it, prepare everything, and put it in the refrigerator. That saved this business owner at least minimum 6 to 10 hours a week, and still eating very healthy. So those are some of the thing that you can think about outside the box. And as for me, I actually use a virtual assistant really to the max. And again, we're going to slowly talk to you about it, within this 30 minutes of our time together. Again, one of the extreme cases for me is that I'm a homeschool mom. I love homeschool my children because I was growing up in Singapore, and Singapore is extremely competitive. The kids actually sleep around midnight because they have so much homework. But in the United States, I believe, and what I my experience personally is that the kids doesn't really have a lot of homeworks, right? They want them to have like some sort of work life balance. So then I decided that I just want to homeschool my children because one, it benefit me because they're going a lot faster, right? My kids are 6 and 8 years old, and they're right now they're going through third grade and sixth grade materials, right? And the second thing is obviously we travel a lot. We travel to Singapore, sometime within the states, so we do not want to get bound down, bogged down by the schedule of the school system. So that really is helping me a lot. But again, I'm a very busy business owner, so how can I do that? Well, I hire actually, executive assistant from Philippines that have teaching background. And what they do is they actually teach my kids and arrange my kids' schedule for me, so that way I do not have to worry about that. Well, Monique, your turn.
Okay, well, for me, I do know that business owners, you guys are so busy, right? Sometimes you don't have the time to do like everything, or it's not just do everything, but maybe you remember them, but sometimes you don't. Okay, when am I gonna do this? And a virtual executive assistant can actually remind you on those tasks, making sure that they can make you accountable on the task that you need to do. Like for Phyllis, actually. For boss, I always, boss, did we get this done? Boss, did you reply to this? Boss, did you call this client already? Boss, it's always like that because it's not that you don't want to do it, but most of the time you forget to do it because you are doing a lot of things. So that's why we are here to remind you guys, okay, you need to get this done. And it is also our task to make sure that we know what are your priorities and you are always on top of those priorities. So that's for me.
Yeah, I mean, Monique technically is my executive assistant for the past 10 years, right? Just 10, not one, not two, but 10, right? So she actually been through a lot of work that I need them to do. It start from, the truth is just like what she said, right? It pretty much start with, a phone. I like to use WhatsApp a lot, right? And every time when I first started, I just literally brain dump onto her and say, well, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to get this done, I need to get that done. And then afterwards, we just figure out what are some of the tasks that she can get done. And if she say, yes, boss, I can take care of this for you. Hey, boss, I can take care of that for you. Pretty much she just take care of that. And then whatever else that are left, then that's what are the stuff that I do for myself. So but I know, a lot of viewers is like, well, what does that mean, right? What do you really mean by the task? I think, Monique, and maybe me and you, we can kind of clear out some of the tasks that we are looking for. um but again, the definition of an executive assistant, to me, is kind of like a gopher. Pretty much you go to them for everything or anything that you do not want to do or you need to get done, but you don't have the time to get done. Some of the list is obviously, checking emails, right? Checking your emails, answering, your, and if you got using like a voice of IP, like, company emails, company text messages, company phone number. Obviously, she used to be the one that's answering all that, right? She says she managed my calendars in the past. Now she's been with me for 10 years. She's kind of like the CEO of the company. So she does not really do that anymore, right? I have other executive assistant that's helping me with that. She's kind of running the office, running the show right now. But she obviously helped me with my calendar, making sure that I'm not double booking myself. Every time I go to an event, we will have a ton of business cards, right, or a ton of people that we need to get a hold of. So what we do, in the past, is we get the business card. I took a screenshot of them, and then she would just put them all into my contact list or in my lead generation database. If right now we actually started to use some other software to track all those information, and then what she would do is she will call those people and schedule appointments for me, but based on my priorities, based on my schedule, how open I am. And she also even helped me with sometimes contracts. Like sometimes we will receive some contracts, some agreement, and what she do is she would look through the whole thing, and then she would just give me some feedback on there. Well, Monique, your turn.
Okay, I don't think this is part of the executive assistant, but this is actually the call that I had with the client yesterday. So she was actually, she would like to hire an, like an admin assistant, because most of the business owners, I think, what a virtual assistant can do is actually only data entry, like Excel. That's it. Oh, okay, you guys can do web designing, because I'm actually hiring another marketing company to do this for me, and it's a little bit expensive. And I'm like, yeah, we can definitely hire you guys a web designer, web developer. Even this person can also work on the website back end, stuff like that. Or even social media. I think social media is huge right now, and I can say that the top positions that we have is actually in the social media marketing, digital marketers, because a lot of clients are looking for, social media, sorry, looking for someone who could help them with their social media, getting them out there, getting their presence, right? So social media, I do know the business owners, you do not have the time to post, you do not have to the time to edit videos. Even podcasts, you don't have the time to edit the audios, right, before you post them. So these are actually, I think, the huge tasks that a virtual assistant can do for business owners as well.
Yeah, I love what Monique just said, right? The truth is that a lot of the time, what you are looking for, even though we call it an executive assistant, technically it's the first assistant that you have. So whatever you need them to do, right? It could be social media, it could be answering phone calls, it could be accounting, right? And I think the key is just to really figure out. We have a brain dump worksheet that we're gonna attach down below. What it is you just really need to write down everything that you wanted to do, you need to do, you have to do, you must do, whatever the to-do list is, right? And then afterwards you categorize them based on what you like, what you wanted to do, what do you want to delegate, what do you hate to do, and then you sum all that up, and that is technically the role of your executive assistant. That's like technically executive assistant. And I know that you most likely would need a little bit more description. Like I said, we have a bunch of random stuff that we get them to do, right? I know one of my client, they like the virtual assistant to remind them on everything. So what's that mean? Remind them that hey, they need to go pick up their kids from soccer because sometimes we are so busy we forget, right? Some of them is like, can you remind me to drink water? Can you make sure that you check on me if I do not have my coffee by 10 o'clock? Get me a coffee, right? Remind me that if if I have an appointment, like for me right now, I definitely need an executive assistant to check on me on my appointments because sometimes I will get into a space of creation or working on some stuff, and I just forget about my appointments. So my executive assistant will remind me and say, hey, you need to do this, right? Hey boss, are you attending this meeting right now? Right? Or hey boss, what do you need? Right? One thing the executive assistant can do for you is also to manage your social media, right? So I have a executive assistant that's going on my social media, and they will just like my post, right? And post some of my wins, right? And tell people happy birthday, add friends to my list, right? Making sure that they check my messenger so that I do not have any messages that I did not answer. I right now even have a executive assistant that's managing my WhatsApp because I have a lot of WhatsApp messages, and I started to lose track of them because I will let you guess how many group chat do me and Monique have together today. we have about
1,000 plus.
exactly. We have about 1,000
Just
plus of them.
that's just us. No, it's 1,000 plus. It's just me and boss has together, okay? And she's actually not joining the other group already, some of the SVA chats, but imagine how many group chats do I have. And of course, hers would be the client. So imagine how many group chat or chats
We
do we
feel
have.
very important. Yay, right? Be careful what you ask for. Right? So that's where we are today, right? We got a lot of WhatsApp messages. So again, if you want to really think about this is what I tell all business owners. Okay, this is what I tell all business owners, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur who you just started, or you're just so used to doing everything yourself, right? And I know a lot of my viewers, you make, more than $1 million already. And some of you guys just start up, right? So I just wanted to do it in on average, right? So if you want to make $1 million, right? One of my coaches tell me, if you want to make $1 million and on average, we work for about 40 hours a week. Okay. Only 40 hours a week. That means it's 2,000 hours a year, 2,000 hours a year. If you divided a million, if you divide what a million, if you, what is the word? You divide a million with 2,000. How do you say that word again? um, anyway, so that equates to $500 an hour. Okay, that equates to $500 an hour. That's how much you're supposed to make. So then now you ask yourself, right? Every task that you have for the day, is it worth more than $500? Is it worth more than $500? If the answer is no, it is not worth more than $500. Well, that is the task that you need to delegate out. Whether it's delegating to your executive assistant or your marketing assistant or your sales assistant, whatever that would be, that is what you need to do. And obviously, if you say, man, I wanted to make $10 million, let's say, right? I want to make $10 million and I want to only work 40 hours a week. That obviously tell you that you are worth $5,000 an hour, right? So then you need to really figure out, wow, how much more people do I need to hire? How much more leveraging do I have to have? But again, it all start with this one executive assistant. And then after you stack and stack and stack on this executive assistant until they are maximized out, right? 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours. Then you obviously will starting to hire second, third, fourth people. Or if you already know at the very beginning you're very busy because you're running a business, you're not looking for just an executive assistant, then obviously you can immediately hire a couple of them so that ultimately you can have multiple executive assistant. I know that sometimes people say, well, it's executive assistant. I just want them to specifically do certain things. To me, executive assistant, virtual assistant, personal assistant, I think that it's just a title, right? It's really just a title. I mean, you can ask Monique. I mean, Monique pretty much done everything, right? Monique, what you want to list down everything you first started with us until 10 years from today? What do you do?
Well, that's a lot, but I actually started working for Phyllis as first as a personal assistant. I was only doing Craigslist ads posts at the time. That's it. And then she would ask me to research on something, which knowing Phyllis right now, I actually didn't think she read all those research. But going back, yeah, I started as someone who's just posting Craigslist ads. And then, we would just talk while she's driving. And then I actually moved up to being a customer service because we were actually doing alarms at the time. And then I was able to help her with like overall on the alarms. So I handled the technical support. I handled customer service, the data entry, funding, and all that stuff. And then we moved to the real estate. So with the real estate, actually, this is huge. A lot of business owners do not know how to leverage a virtual executive assistant on the real estate side. They feel like, okay, all they can do is just the cold calling. No, actually, there was this one time, actually, not just one time. Phyllis was like, did this property close already? Because I was asking her, boss, did you already receive the commission? And she's like, oh, did it close already? And I'm like, yeah. Okay, okay. So it's like that. So from on the real estate side, it would be a virtual assistant can handle from the very first step, which is, let's say you're listing a property, let's say the listing agreement up to closing. A virtual assistant can actually help you with that. Okay. Now, until commission, of course, you have to remind your boss, hey, Phyllis, did you get the commission, right? And then now we're doing this VA industry right now. Well, there's actually a lot of things that I'm still doing for her. It's just a lot that you wouldn't even think a virtual assistant can actually do that. One of the things that I'm doing for Phyllis as well is doing the sales calls. Imagine you're going to be talking to like business owners, and you are talking to me guys as a virtual assistant. So it is possible. It is I think the possibility of the task that you can give your virtual assistant is just endless, endless, right? So, and also, boss, I just want to add also, because this is one of the things that I'm seeing on the questionnaires when clients are asking, what are the tasks that, a virtual can actually do for me. And I think the what's this transport what's that travel management, okay, I want someone to book a flight for me. I want someone who could book a car for me when I go here. I want someone who could check a Airbnb or hotel for me. So I think yeah, I want to add that on the list.
Absolutely. I love everything that she just said, right? It's really very customizable as what an executive assistant can do. Like I said, they're pretty much at the gopher. They do everything that you need them to do. I mean, to a certain extent, there's a period of time that I need Monique to be a coder for us, right? We were creating a CRM, and that's what she does. But again, if we go back to like traditional executive assistant, right? It just obviously all the basic fundamental, right? Understand, really understand your habit. That's one thing that we really train the virtual assistant really well, executive assistant very well, is to understand your personal habits. What is your priorities? How do you like to react with stuff? Those are some of the stuff that we're really looking into, because the executive assistant really need to know you really well.
Yeah.
And whatever the gaps that you have, like let's say you're not organized, get an executive who's organize all your files, right? If you're not organized with your receipt, get an executive assistant that can collect all your receipts so that you know exactly what to do on everything, right? There's just so many things that an executive assistant can do for you. And the most important thing is that the executive assistant has to have common sense. And I know
Oh,
common sense is not so common.
yeah.
Okay, guys, common sense is really not so common. And this is what we're doing really well on, is to train your virtual assistant have much more common sense.
Yep.
And the thing is, the truth is, sometimes people say, well, the executive assistant doesn't work because they don't have the common sense. Then the question for you, again, I would like to challenge you as a business owner is, did you teach them about your common sense? Did you teach them about your common sense? Because, in Philippines, a couple things that really motivated them, right, is they like Jollibee, they like milk tea, right? They like, the ice cream, the famous ice cream for them is like a hello, hello, right? But if they do not teach me about that, I don't think that is my common sense. I did not know that that is what they like, right? And some of the food that they eat, it's different flavors, right? So to me, common sense is not so common, especially even though we're both Asian, but I'm Chinese, she's Filipino. I mean, the common sense is not the same. The flavor that we like to eat things is not the same, right? So, in order for you to have successful, executive assistant, you really need to let them know, open up your heart, and let them know about what do you really need, and how can they research and figure out to assist you with. Another great example of, again, I'm giving you some of the, like crazy examples, so that way you can really be creative about how you use your executive assistant, right? Another thing that they also do for you is, one of my client who is an amazing investor.
Mm.
He invests in a lot of things, so he needs to know what's going on with all those places that he invests, but he doesn't have the time to study all the articles every single day. It will be about 10 hours worth of stuff. So what he did is he actually hired an assistant, a virtual assistant, executive assistant, to read all those stuff for him, and then he created a 30-minute summary of everything that the investor need to read. So then now the investor just have to read them in 30 minutes on his breakfast, and he pretty much know every bells and whistle and all the news updates of what he needs to do with all his investment. And I love that too. One of the executive assistants, what they do is, the business owner invests a lot in crypto, and the executive assistant actually has a spreadsheet, and actually manage all the numbers, right, all the up and downs, and also letting the client know, hey, this is the good time to dump, or this is not a good time to dump. How much did the investor make today? So the assistant actually learn how to do crypto so that he can serve the client on his crypto investment too. What else, Monique? What else did we not cover about what executive assistant can do for busy business owners?
Actually, boss, before we proceed, I just wanna show this to you guys. This is from Jamel. Yes, he's actually one of our pioneers. So he said delegating tasks is not an expense, but lets you maximize what else you can do to grow your business. So yes, you're hiring someone. Not do not think of it as an expense, but this is for you to focus on what's more important, right? This is one way for you to focus more on growing your business. So it's definitely not an expense. You're just delegating the tasks that are repetitive to someone else. This way you do not have to do them, and you just focus on growing the business, right? So yeah, I just want to add that.
Yeah,
I just want to add that there. Mhm.
I definitely really like that. And one thing, one another message that Charlene obviously talk about is, they can definitely help you out, right? Especially the tasks that you do not have time to do, repetitive tasks, and tasks that you're not expert with to do so. I love exactly what she just said. Sometimes a business owner like you or I, we might not be good at certain things. What we found is most business owners are really amazing with people, and 9 out of 10 times they're not really good with technology. But in order for you to be successful, especially after COVID, is you have to be good at technology. So a lot of time we just procrastinate. It's like, oh man, I gotta learn another tool. Oh man, I need to do this. Well, hire an executive assistant so that they can do that for you, right? Or again, hiring a marketing assistant who specialize and focus on that, right? Whatever that works. But it always start with the very first hire that you have. And the very first hire usually is the executive assistant. Kind of what Diane said, right? Executive assistant will help client to make their work easier. Okay, can make their work easier. And one thing that we could definitely do is we will be putting the link down below. It's a VA 300. Is what a virtual assistant can do for you. The 300 tasks that a virtual assistant can do for you. And the first person you hire as an executive assistant, you just kind of have to pull all these things together, make it into about 40 hours, and then just hire this person. And if you have any questions, again, we're going to put the link down below. Schedule a free strategy call with us. Okay, schedule a free strategy call with us. So now we can really tell you, yeah, that works. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, that makes sense. Nah, that doesn't make sense. So that way you know how to prepare you really well. That's something that we are very strong on, is to help you find the right person, and then help you onboard them with the right mindset, correct mindset, quote unquote, we call it Americanize them, entrepreneur, ship them. I don't know what's the correct English that you're supposed to use, but we're just technically closing the gap on an assistant and a business owners. And then so that, in that way, it's really easy for you guys to do it. And what we do it through love, leadership, and loyalty. That's the reason why Monique is here with us for such a long time, right? And I think Charlene also said, hey, what a VEA can do for us is managing the admin and the back end side while you're focusing your business core objective. Absolutely. Because what Tony Robbins always say is, you need to work on your business, not in your business. If you're working in your business is not growing because you are the technician, right? Michael Gerber always said it best too. There's technician, there's a manager, and then there's an entrepreneur. So when I first started, when I was working with Monique, I want to clarify, Monique, one thing. When Monique, when you were working at that time, I check everything you do because I was a technician too. And then after you become the really good technician, then I become the manager leader. When I'm a manager leader, I also still check everything. But because now you become the manager leader, so you are checking everything, I become the entrepreneur. So I don't check as much anymore because you are checking everything for me. Okay. So I just
But
want to correct
now
that real quick.
but now you're focusing on creating more leads, creating more sales for us. You do not need to worry about the back end because someone else is doing it for you, right? So yeah. And
Absolutely.
yes, I just wanna show this one. It's actually from James. So again, James is one of those first ones that we hired. So we've been doing this business for one and a half year. And as you can see, James is just he just celebrated his first year with the client. So we just want to let you know, yes, this is me 10 years working for Phyllis, but the virtual assistant that we had for our clients are actually working for long term as well. So, right, it's not just okay, this is only, they might leave me. Maybe 2 months later I might need to hire another one. It doesn't always work like that. So James is one of those. So he's been working with the client for 1 year already, and I like that he said we support them on a micromanagement level while they focus more on bigger stuff. So there you go.
Yes. And then, like what James also said is, to let the VA fill in the gaps to save you time for bigger revenue. I think that's totally true. And again, James have been with his client for a year, but he's now almost becoming like like an operation manager, like a sales manager too. He's managing quite a few virtual assistant that is increasing a lot of sales for the business owners. So anyway, I know that we are committing ourselves at 30 minutes. So we do not want to take too much of your time. We wanted to respect your time. Ultimately what we want to do, encourage you, inspire you is the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. Whatever that you can think about, if it could be done using a computer, using an internet, they can do it. Oh, one last thing. I actually also get my virtual assistant to attend some of my live courses and some of my live events so that they can still build relationship on my behalf. They can also write notes for me. So in that way, I don't have to attend an 1 hour learning. I just watch her notes, read her notes, and see what else do I need to get out of it. And if it's fruitful, then I watch replay afterwards. So again, there's just a lot of things. Again, always ask, right? Better question, get better outcome. What else can I get them to? And then ask them, hey, can I get you to do this? If they say yes, great. If they don't, can you research it and find out whether you can really do this or not? Because I really want you to do it. And eventually they will obviously make it happen. And that has been, my 10 years journey with Monic. So anyway, happy Thursday. We're really enjoying this, and we are going to start doing this every Thursday again, so that we can bring you the best answer on how to utilize virtual assistant. I know after COVID, inflation has been going up. A lot of business owners really need help, and I know you want to create the ultimate freedom for yourself. Don't feel guilty about, spending time with your family. Wanted to handle every single customer, deal with every single situation head on, but you do not have enough assistance, especially if you wanted to hire people that is in United States or, your local market, UK, Australia, whatever you talk about. So again, virtual assistant will definitely be the best way to go. And, I look forward for you to have another partner, just kind of like me have with Monic. And again, life will never be the same.
Yay, happy Thursday.
I want to share with you that I really think Phyllis's service is really going to help you. Hi everybody, this is Olivia Gong. I am the founder of OLIT Coaching. Also would like to share with you my experience working with Phyllis and her team. It has been amazing. It started a few months back. It helped me hire this marketing person. Her name is Kate. Kate has been really amazing. Kate has been very creative, very responsive. I want to share with you that I really think Phyllis's service is really going to help you. Anything that you want to leverage out, let somebody else take the time assuming task away from you so you can focus on your core mission, whatever that's irreplaceable, focus on that. It's so worth it. That is what the most value there is. And also I want to share with you that they have an amazing training session. I really believe that Phyllis is really undercharging right now for the amazing services that they're providing. I have been having daily calls with Kate to talk about what was talked about during the training. And I also watched some training recordings that they did, and they were really amazing. I sincerely believe just for the training itself is already worth the whole package. Not mentioning that they're gonna help you hire a VA that is gonna be amazing. I believe if you choose to hire a VA, that's gonna transform your business and transform your life. You're gonna love it. Thank you so much.